Greetings and welcome to Growth Hacking Secrets. I'm your host Mohammed Siddique from Atlanta, Georgia, and the co-author of New Success Secrets available on Amazon. On this episode, we have a special guest, Preet Raj. Preet is a podcast host, co-founder of FLYX, Stop Searching, Start Watching, and seasoned engineering leader. Please join me to give a warm welcome. Excuse me. Please join me to give a warm welcome to our guest, Preet Raj. Preet, welcome.
Hey Siddique, how are you? Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Let me start with this. Where were you? What happened? Who you were surrounded with? That inspired you to start with the Flix. Such an amazing idea. Let me share with this everyone.
Oh,
Yes.
absolutely. So this is first just to give you some background what Flix is. Flix is basically
Oh, it's
and
your story. We ignore the Flix part. Your story. Where were you? What happened? Who you were surrounded with that inspired you to start Flix? Yeah.
so one this was part of the learning also. I mean, I tried a few things. I failed earlier, and this was one of the places where you surround yourself with the right people. That's the key in any kind of success. And I don't. One thing that I learned that you don't have to do everything yourself. Find the right people and share the success with them. Uh, so just a bit of background about myself. I actually grew up in India for the most part. I did my engineering from India, Nagpur. I came to the US, did my master's in Chicago, and directly joined Goldman Sachs right after that in Dallas. I was with the real estate management division in technology. It was interesting initially, but it kind of became boring a bit because there was a point of time where I was doing a lot of Excel and less of technology. There was a point of time where I could tell you what are the cash flows going to look on this kind of deal, and that's something that I didn't want to do. Then I broke that chain and I moved to New York within Goldman Sachs itself and joined the investment banking division, and that was amazing. I think I got a ton of learning. I had amazing opportunities because of the team, the people around me. I actually I helped create a platform called Deal Link in IBD Tech that was featured with Bloomberg. They covered an article about us, the team, what we're doing. I also led the big data development inside IBD Tech. That was the first of its kind. Did amazing things, then said it's time to move on. Made my way around Wall Street, went to Morgan Stanley. It wasn't challenging enough. Then went to JP Morgan. JP Morgan was amazing stuff. Greenfield project. They hired me because I had some experience with creating these big data platforms from scratch. The scale was pretty amazing. Uh, Created a lot of interesting uh, uh, tools for IBD sales reps where they can take this one pager sheet and look smart in front of their clients. But we did all the hard work. But again, tons of learning, pretty amazing. That's where I actually got a message from Shashank Singh. He's one of my co-founders at FLYX. He was actually the CTO at Datamarks, where he was building the world's first digital data bank. And we just talked, and then he actually hired me to lead the engineering in Datamarks. And I think it was something meant to be, where you kind of see that okay, two people have the same thought process, we think alike, and his experience, his vision definitely said that, sold me that okay, enough with these banks, enough with these big companies, let's go be nimble. Let's, because when you work at a startup, the world opens up to you.
Yeah.
When you're working in a bank, that I realized that everything is so short-sighted. People lived in their own bubble, their own ecosystem, and there's nothing wrong with that. When you go to a startup, things just expand. You know about so many things going on, and we did some amazing things at Datamarks also. We actually co-authored a paper together where it was changing how encryption kind of works. So we have a patent pending also with modern levels of encryption. Then Shashank, actually, we got talking in terms of this idea about FLYX, where this was a personal problem for us also, right? Where okay, you come home, you have just 15-20 minutes to watch, and you want to have dinner also after a long days of work. What do? I ended up watching Friends or Breaking Bad because that's the one that I usually go to. You search for a while, and then you said, I don't want to waste that much time watching. So we thought, what do we generally do? I call up Shashank, I call up some of my friends. Hey, have you seen something interesting to watch? And even though I'm here, I still need that Bollywood masala now and then. So, so I definitely want some movies, some interesting OTT or streaming shows on Netflix that India has been creating, amazing shows. So how do I discover them? People like Shashank, people like my friends tell me about, hey, check this out on Netflix. So we thought this is our own problem. How do we solve this? Then we thought about, okay, Flix is an we can build something where trusted recommendations actually make up what you should watch next. So we thought, why don't we change this whole dynamic and say that we create an ecosystem where it's a social network with your friends and family, your trusted recommendations. So, for example, you, Siddique, you come and join Flix. I follow you for your recommendations. As soon as you find something amazing to watch, say Avengers Endgame, you recommend it, I get it right away. Siddique is recommending Avengers Endgame. Would you want to watch it? I click on it, and I can directly play it on Netflix right away with one click of a button. Nothing else. And I can, if Shashank wants to write a review or you want to write a review, I can just see it right over there and say that, oh, this was amazing. This was the part that I saw. Enhancing on that, we thought, since the world is becoming more tech friendly in terms of integrating with Alexa, Siri, so our ecosystem also actually went two steps ahead and said that now you can directly ask Alexa also. We haven't actually we kept that on the side yet, but essentially you can ask Alexa, hey Alexa, what is Siddique watching? Or can you ask Siddique, what should I watch? And it'll tell you.
Can we stop the interview right now? Because you are, oh my God, you are everywhere now, huh?
Absolutely, and it would just change how we interact, and you can directly play it directly with Alexa after that and say that.
And only effect do what your friends are doing based on the recommendation. You get to that point right away, and now you can discuss with the same thing with your friends who have been watching that over there anyway.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So the main thing is we cut down time where it takes you 24, 25 minutes on an average. There's a study done by Nielsen that tells you that an average person spends about 25 minutes trying to figure out what to watch. And we cut that down by just saying that this is the recommendation by your friends. So we are recommending you things by saying, okay, this is your taste profile. If you don't really want to see what Siddique is recommending you and move for something else, we have that also. But since if you don't like some recommendations, it's your friends to blame. Stop following them then. But if you want to see what is trending on Netflix, what's trending on Amazon, what's trending globally, we have these small snippets within the app where you can directly say, oh, I just want to see Netflix, what's trending on Netflix today. You will see a whole bunch of things over there. Okay, trending today in India, trending today in US. Just click on that and it'll play directly on Netflix. So we have been somewhere.
Google the time, stop searching and start watching. Google, if you are listening, you need to look at this Flix. Okay.
So Google, actually, some interesting things that happened with Flix is we launched in August 2020 last year, and we were in beta at that point of time. And our friends who were testing out our app said that this is the right time during the pandemic. Please release it. So at that point of time, we just released the app, and we got some amazing success just because people were spending so much time indoors watching streaming. Because if you see, Netflix servers were overloaded because there was so much streaming happening. A lot of countries in Southeast Asia, actually, the governments actually requested Netflix to actually not stream HD content because there was so much bandwidth hogging because of that. So this was amazing time for us. Because of what we did, Google actually recognized as one of the hidden gems in the app ecosystem, best apps of 2020. So that was an amazing honor where these guys actually saw us and said, thank you so much.
Congrats, man. Congrats. Hats off to you and to your whole team, not only the co-founders, because people believe in
absolutely. That's the one thing that, Siddique, I would definitely want to highlight. It's I've tried a few things, and it's almost important that the most important thing is surround yourself with the right people. If you have the right team, you can do anything. And patience. People think that it's overnight success. It's not overnight success. It's overnight success because you have put in those many years in that making.
Preet, is it okay if I ask you a few questions and let's get the direct answer that people can understand very quickly?
Absolutely.
So you are a successful entrepreneur almost like a serial entrepreneur, I'm sure, as a Preet Raj, I can tell you have tried many things, and finally you got into something which really you are connected by heart. So,
Absolutely.
being a corporate experience and engineer, and get bored and then move on to the next thing and the next thing and next thing. What are the top three mistakes to avoid for an entrepreneur as a startup owner?
I think the top three mistakes, according to me, I think just based on learning, is when you get stuck with the wrong people, where you are motivated enough, but the level of motivation does not match with your co-founders.
Yeah.
Uh, the other thing is uh, making an app is not the tough part. Making a company out of that app is the tough part, because you've seen you can hack together something. Because at this point of time, I have done so many things in terms of technology. Tech is not the hard part, Siddique. It's making it into a company. And then the last part is the problem that I saw with, actually, that was my problem, is I wanted to do everything myself. uh, because I think when you start off, that's what you think. I said, okay, you want to do everything yourself. You want to do marketing yourself, technology yourself. You want to create the app ecosystem yourself. That was one of the biggest mistakes, I think, that you would not be productive. You will burn out, and you'll probably end up doing half baked things. But this you would only learn, I think, by failing a couple of times. That's the only way to learn. There are some people who have had success, but if you see the norm, you need people to be successful.
Wonderful. So, having an ecosystem of collaboration mindset instead of a closed mindset, I'm the only one who can do the best than anybody else. That's why they don't hire and don't trust other people to do it.
Absolutely, absolutely, yes,
And even when they
100%.
hire, they micromanage them so much to the death, they leave you.
So one thing I think that resonates with me and my co-founders is find the right people and empower them. So
Yeah.
you empower them. That's why you hire smart people in the first place, right? Otherwise, if you want to micromanage them, then what's the point of hiring smart people?
Yeah, and pay them and managing them. That doesn't make any sense much.
Nope.
You mentioned about give a clue about your failures. So, what is your greatest failure story? What did you learn from it, and how did you recover from that?
I would say failure stories is in 2014, 2015, I tried out with a bunch of ideas. I tried something like, have you heard of TaskRabbit? It was an app ecosystem where you actually
Yeah.
can hire anybody for rent. So I was actually kind of building out with something like that. We tried this early when this was not even that popular. You didn't even hear of people actually you can hire somebody from an app to come fix your faucet. You can hire somebody to come fix a painting on your wall. And that was something that I thought has a lot of potential. But again, uh, not having the right team, not having enough motivated people in your ecosystem, I still think that idea would have been successful if uh, everything worked out. So things don't work out, then you fall into places. It just doesn't seem to work out. Uh, yeah, I think that was one of the
What,
big
what
things
did
that I spent a good
what did
year, 2 years.
what did you learn from that?
Oh, that number one thing was patience. That no successful company can be built. There are always anomalies, exceptions, but if you see a mature company, a mature ecosystem, it cannot be built in weeks or months. It takes time. You have to trust the process and keep on persistently, consistently putting in the hard work.
Mhm. And how did you recover from that?
Uh, moved on to different jobs. I think that just fell apart. Just life happened, and that just didn't go through. And I think just I learned that it's super important to actually find the right people. And then I started creating this whole ecosystem of people that I know, network, and sharing ideas, bouncing off ideas with each other,
Mhm.
uh, and validating something before jumping right into it. So a lot of the times you would say that, okay, this is a problem that you think exists, but how big of a problem is it? Whether it's time for, whether it's the right thing for you to invest time or not. I think now I compare a lot of things with ROI, return over investment, because that's how I go about things.
Yeah.
Uh, whether you are going to spend 4 months building this system. Is there a need for it? How many people are going to use it? What's the market cap of it? Is there a $1 million economy? Is there a $1 billion economy? uh, Even if you get 1% of it, can you, is it going to be a successful business or not? Earlier it was, for me it was just problem solving. Now I think this experience has taught me things where y- you have to think about these bigger things before investing your time, because now I realize, at least not bragging about it, but I think my time is more important thinking about those things, and then having finding the right people, and then having collaborating then with them, partnering with them, and then building this ecosystem. I think those are the few things that I learned.
You gave me the checklist to look at things. So I learned so much from you right now. So let's talk about your success, secrets of successes for a startup. So you're talking bits and pieces. Let's just give them in compact format. What are your
Okay.
top secrets of success for a startup owner, based on your own experience, so we all can model from it?
Absolutely. So I think we touched about this in bits and pieces, but again, yes, find the right people, build the right team, patience, and hard work. I think there's no other secret. You can make an average idea be very successful with the right people and the hustle behind it. You can have the best of ideas and a shitty team, it's never going to work. That's what I learned.
Amazing, amazing. Preet, you're not as good as you think. You are better, because the way you put it, I'm going to use it right away. So how the growth hacking secrets community people are watching this right now can support you?
I think you should check out flix.me. I think this is a problem with a lot of people. I think I'm not alone. Where you run into decision paralysis in terms of what you're watching, what you should be watching. A lot of people don't even realize that that could be a problem,
Yeah.
where they spend up 30 minutes and are trying to just shuffle through channels, shuffle through platforms, and figuring out what to watch. I think if you guys can help spread the word of uh, what Flix is all about, I think that would be a huge success in terms of just spreading the word.
Yeah, wonderful. Flyx.me, FLYX.me. Very simple. So before you watch your next movie and thinking what to do, let me check. Now I don't have enough time. Just get this app done on your phone. It will tell you what's the most trending, which you don't want to fear of missing out. You want to be part of the conversation. Join the conversation, get the recommendation from your friends. Your ecosystem is already built for you. And not only when you are going to watch that, whatever you want to watch, your favorite show from favorite place. However, then you can continue after the discussion. How was the hero? How was this? How was this? Who likes it? Who hates it? That's what you enjoy the most and join. It's almost like a total experience for your next hit thing you want to watch. Is that right, Flix? That ME
Flix,
is going to solve that problem?
Flix.me. Yes, it is going to solve a lot of problems.
Wonderful. Wonderful, Preet. We are about to wrap up. I like to always ask my guests to share your today's guest experience on the Growth Hacking Show. Here is my question: what would you say about your today's guest experience on the Growth Hacking Secret Show?
I think, Siddique, this was amazing. For me, it was also interacting with you. I think that was definitely one of the best parts of today's conversation that I had. It's always good to meet like-minded people who have seen the hustle, who are always hustling, putting in the hard work. I think that was it. I think my experience today was amazing. I think just having another friend, I hope so, and another Flixer who's going to download Flix.
Thank you so much for your kind words. Really appreciate it. Preet, what would you say as a final word?
Stop searching, start watching.
Yeah, and that's my final word is Flix, FLYX. Stop searching, start watching. Google already said the best one. This is the best game in last year. So if it's good enough for Google to say the best one, why you are not starting Flix? Okay, that's it. FLYX. Thank you so much, Preet Raj, for sharing your wisdom with us today on the behalf of Growth Hacking Secrets community and our entire team. We really appreciate you. This is Mohammed Siddique signing off from Atlanta, Georgia. Until the next episode, all good wishes.